honest, WWE cannot do what AEW did with CM Punk's debut. They couldn't have done that any more than they did. Better than
Oh,
it.
When
no, I
when
mean
CM Punk would debut,
that was CM Punk, dude. Like I'm pretty sure he had creative control over that whole shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
100%.
can I say
they
something about the CM
like you
Punk
said, but
debut?
WWE wouldn't have given creative control. So
Yeah.
they give the guys a little bit more freedom, but sometimes freedom's not always good, dude. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes they end up doing shit that makes their business look bad.
Yeah.
Can I say something about the CM Punk debut? When I saw it, I was like, I had to rewatch it, and I was almost, I could, I won't believe it. I was crying because, like, CM Punk is one of my, like, when I was like a little kid, not a teenager, like,
So,
used to see him, and I was like, oh wow, he's good. I like him, and
so
childhood icon.
let me explain my whole thing with CM Punk's debut was back in the day, like every time I saw like, oh, I hope CM Punk returns one day, I always tweet and be like, nah mate, it's never happening. It's never happening. And even when the rumors were like CM Punk signed a contract for All Elite Wrestling, I'm like, nah, that's bullshit, bro. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, is Dane getting anything on Rampage? I'm like, okay, I got to stay up see this. Unlucky for me, it starts at 3 a.m. in the UK.
Yeah,
I'm quite busy. And like, because I got college and shit, so but I got really early.
I do
my Rampage was
secondary
over,
school.
and I was just like, I just literally just like marked the hell out. Like I threw my arms in the air, I was like doing the yes chant and shit.
No, it was good. No, it was a good.
That's
That was a good
another
debut,
person's
dude.
shtick, Daniel. That's another person's shtick. The yes chant is
No,
someone
I
else's
was.
shtick. If you know what I
Can
mean.
I tell you something? When I watched that, dude, when I watched CM Punk come in, I thought things were gonna change. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, man, now they got stars. They got Bryan Danielson coming in. Like, dude, this is the same show. And CM Punk didn't really make a difference. I've been watching CM Punk's promos. I don't watch any wrestling shows, so it's not like I just don't watch AEW. I don't watch any of them. I watch clips and stuff like that. But man, CM Punk, man, I don't know what they're doing with him because he's the top star in wrestling.
So
he was.
I know
CM
what
Punk right now in AEW is more the case of like, I explained this on Twitter because it's a case of I've seen some people say like CM Punk's AEW runs being underwhelming, and I said this on the group chats, and like it's been the case of like we wasted 7 damn years for this. Just for him cutting a promo is still surreal. For him coming out and putting talent over is amazing. And like at the very least, like just appreciate the fact that he's standing in a wrestling ring and being a wrestler again.
I did in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But like after a couple weeks of that shit, and then like listen, it was a bad idea to start him off against Darby Allin, dude. He should have not been fighting a babyface. It's nice for Darby,
Yeah.
but it instantly brought CM Punk down to the mid card level because he's fighting mid carders and he's been fighting mid carders. I don't know what they're trying to do, and they're trying to like integrate him into the locker room or something like that. But they're making him one of the guys. And all those guys have been there, and he's just one of them now. You know what I'm saying? He's just wrestling anybody, having matches every week, coming out doing the same fucking promo every week. It's not good, dude. It would be good if it was somebody else. Put it that way, it'd be fine. But this guy, you've been waiting for this guy for 7 years. You didn't wait for him to come be a mid card, mid card jobber. You know, he's getting a mid card push. You know what I'm saying? What is that? That doesn't even make sense. He's a top star in wrestling up until he came back to wrestling. Dude,
I know this might be a bad argument, but like at the same time, you got to look at it like this. We can speak all our opinions, but at the end of the day, if say CM Punk actually wants to vow to fight Darby Allin or like Powerhouse Hobbs or like all these talents.
Well,
like
if that's what he wants to do, then you don't let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah. Like then he's happy doing it. Like I understand what you're saying. I'm not trying to disagree. All right.
No.
And
I get where you're coming from. And he wants to put over the young guys. He wants to be a good guy. But guess what? That's not what this is, dude. You know what I'm saying? You do that when you establish yourself, put yourself in a position. He came back, and he's supposed to be like the top guy, and he's wrestling jobbers, dude. You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be on top, and then you start putting people over. Like like he shouldn't even had a match yet, dude. Or he should have had a match at the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying? That's what they should be doing. He shouldn't be on TV every week. They're normalizing having CM Punk on television. And you can't do that, man, because you're paying a lot of money for that shit, and you're going to make them just like anybody else. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I disagree, but like, I'll respect your opinion, kind of thing.
No, and I get where you're coming from, dude. He wants to do what he wants to do, and he wants to be the locker room leader and helping the young guys and shit like that. But man, fuck that, bro. Like, listen, if you want to you're doing a wrestling show, man. like the average fan is not gonna give a shit about some guy just coming out having cold feuds or or matches that don't have any heat. You know what I'm saying? After a while, you're gonna be like, oh, there's CM Punk again. Look, that's it, CM Punk, whatever. You know what I mean? The way they use MJF, like sparingly like that, that's how they should have used CM Punk, and they should have MJF on TV every week doing interviews. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what they should have done. Because I remember for a long time I was watching, I never saw MJF every once, maybe twice a month. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what keeps people excited to see the guy. And then fucking you're gonna have him fight on the pay per view, then have him start coming in and doing stuff. You know, but like I feel like they have him doing nothing. It's weird.
The last thing he did on Rampage was he did an interview and Eddie Kingston confronted him. So like,
Eddie Kingston, that's good.
Eddie Kingston's go.
I like Eddie
Kingston.
Kingston.
This on a group chat as well. It's like Eddie Kingston CM Punk promo would be lit.
Yeah, hell yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what they should. That's what definitely. That's a good idea. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they're both kind of baby faces. You know, so like,
Eddie Kingston, I kind of seen I see him more as a tweener.
Can I ask a question? Who would you say you want CM Punk to be feuding with? Like, who would you say you want him to be feuding with first?
Like, when did he come in?
August on the
20th, 2021.
20th. First dance AW, and then
I wouldn't have had him come in and talk. That's one thing. I wouldn't have had him come in and talk, and I would have had him come in and beat the shit out of somebody. Maybe the Young Bucks.
No, that's where I disagree. That debut, that was the moment for wrestling fans. We don't.
No, it was beautiful.
Say someone.
No, it was beautiful. You're right. The next week, I would have had him come beat the shit out of somebody.
Okay,
you're right, because that intro is perfect. You're right. He came in perfect. You can't beat that. That was really good. So, but like the next week, I would have had him got down to business. I would have been like, hey, you know what? I got this nice young fellow that kind of reminds me of me when I was younger. I'm gonna wrestle this guy to give him a little push. You know what I'm saying? No, dude, that doesn't even. That's like insider wrestling shit. What they're doing. You see what I'm saying? Like, and the fans know it because the fans are smart now. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, oh, CM Punk is trying to do this kid a favor. Nah, man, they're just making it. They're taking you out of the wrestling and making it more like real life. They're showing you kind of like real life booking. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we're going to take the young guys and elevate them, this and that. Like, the fans shouldn't even be thinking about that kind of stuff. You know, it should be like, you should be focusing on the action and not exactly why things are doing it. Like, people focus on the story way too much in a way because they break the shit down and like, they just take it out of context sometimes. And sometimes things are just way too complicated and they need to simplify it. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of making it look like CM Punk is a great guy and he's putting over all these young people, have him come in and beat the shit out of somebody, dude. Have him come in and kick somebody's ass.
To be fair, he did that before All Out when he beat the shit out of like Daniel Garcia and shit.
Yeah, but that was
Daniel Garcia
match.
Is also like a one of like the biggest, like youngest heels like in the business.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't turn Punk fully heel. Like, I would have him
I feel like that'd be a bad idea right now. Like,
no, not till next year at least.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying: turn him into a tweener. Like, he's a face, but he's like he's between face, between heel. Like, he beats people up, but you also
like care.
Like, but he acts like, oh yeah, I'm the best wrestler in the world, and like tries to get the fans on his side, but then the fans are like, you just attacked one of the biggest stars, like like have it like next year have him attack like Hangman Adam Page or like John Moxley or like someone like that, like one of the biggest like faces, and then like have him turn heel, like essentially. That's how I would do it.
That's one of the problems. When you ask me that question, who I would have him face, they don't have any heels, really, man. Not real heels. You know what I mean? Where you gonna throw him in MJF? MJF can't win that feud.
To be honest, I don't
you can't put him in it.
But can I say something? I don't like black and white baby faces. Like, I like to have like a spectrum of like there's different people here, and like that.
No, I understand that. It's like 90s wrestling, you know what I'm saying? So, and it makes it more realistic when people aren't just like totally bad or totally good. I understand, but like you have to draw a line. You know what I'm saying?
I'll be gone.
Like you just have to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
Dude.
This was cool. I've never been on one of these before, and I've seen you guys on here, so I wanted to check y'all out.
Well, to be fair, like I've never really spoken like this. I'm more just tweeted. So like, I guess most of the people that follow me,
these are new to me.
I'm hearing my voice.
Why?
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I've seen your promos and shit. I know it was you when I heard you. But yeah, no, this is pretty cool, man. If you guys have another one up, I might try to jump in. This is cool. Appreciate it, guys. I'm gonna go watch Dune.
Hey, no, have a good evening.
Yeah, take it easy.
Take it easy. Actually crazy being on Twitter and actually talking to someone that is from the place that I am from. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, like I've legit never spoke with my real voice on Twitter. Like legit.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling. Like when I started doing my like EFED promos, I'm thinking like on the first I was thinking, oh shit, like this is gonna be a face reveal, voice reveal. It wasn't a big deal on it.
Well, to be fair, my face reveals on my profile picture, so.
Yeah.
But that was like that's 2020, so.
I clapped back. Oh, you're like a no profile pic account, bro. My face is all over my profile. Go look.
Well, yeah, unless you're Kenny Mega.
I mean, like apart from profile pic, like if you scroll down my account, see some tweets. Like I've put pictures of myself, videos of myself.
Yeah, I mean, like I use this account more for like wrestling and shit, and like I have other social media, but that's my in real life shit. So I'd rather keep this side away from my Instagram, Snap, and whatnot.
Oh yeah, of course.
So this is less my real life stuff, more or less.
Yeah, I try to keep like in the beginning, I kept like a lot of the personal stuff to myself, but I've got closer. Hey, I'll tell you something.
I stay up really late anyway, so this is nothing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it just feels WWE like this is why I explain. Like, in some form of fashion, like I'm not saying AEW is going to take WWE out of business. I think there's some form of competition to a point where like they're one of the top companies in the world.
Yeah,
but not in the sense of like, oh, they're going to drive WWE out of business or anything. It's just they're going to just take WWE.
Soon. I can see that happening, just not anytime soon.
Yeah, no, 100%. Their ratings are not like at that point, but like it's never say never kind of thing.
Oh no, that's the thing. I think the real turning point, and I know this is gonna sound biased, but it's not. I promise.
It's fine.
When they come over here and have a show in the UK. Because,
oh man, I cannot fucking wait. I want to go so bad.
Yeah, exactly. And if they outsell WWE over here, that's gonna speak volumes.
Man, like I don't know, like I even said, like even about Punk's debut, I don't think WWE could have done that type of level how AEW did Punk's debut. I don't think if Punk somehow got convinced to go back to WWE, it would be a whole different thing.
Oh, it would have been bigger if Punk returning to wrestling would have went to WWE, but I personally knew he would never go back there. Other people that was just wishful thinking.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh god, like
they sacked him on his wedding day. He is not going back.
And almost killed him.
That, like, oh god.
The most surprising that came out of All Out, because I was so in denial because of how close it was since Adam Cole was in NXT when he debuted All Out, and I was just like, wait, what the fuck?
Adam Cole being on NXT 2 weeks ago to him straight on All Out? What?
I was just legit like, wait, what the fuck? Like, even when like people were saying on Twitter, like, he's leaving WWE, it's like, he was on NXT 2 weeks ago. There's no fucking way. This is probably part of the storyline.
That's the thing. Like, I was so shocked to the point where I was thinking, yo, like when Adam Cole debuted, I was thinking, okay, this is cool. But when Danielson come out, I legit said to myself, okay, they fucking won. Because I knew in my head, if Bryan Danielson signed with AEW, that'd be it for WWE. Because if he would sign with AEW, anyone would.
I think, look, it doesn't matter if the AEW shows are not fully on Raw or SmackDown ratings. They won regardless of what it is. Even if Eric Bischoff or Jim Cornette says this and this is not because they're not competition. Fuck that. AEW's changed the wrestling business, and however long it lasts, it's left a legacy no one will never forget.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like AEW, can't forget, 2 years old, and they're on 1 million viewers on an average every week.
2 years, and they got CM Punk back to pro wrestling, which is still fucking surreal. Right. Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, Paul White, Mark Henry, like all these fucking talent. Christian Cage, might I add, like especially when he turned up Rumble and then just turned up on Dynamite. And I'm just like, wait, what? It's just like that is mental to me. Like I still watch Punk's debut like now and then, and like I still get goosebumps.
I'm guilty of that.
It's just one of those moments. It's hard not to get, and just like that pop was insane. Like I always said, like if Punk ever returned to wrestling, the pop will be so huge.
Oh, that pop was unmatched.
And like man, the emotions that day was crazy.
Oh, it was only a few moments in wrestling history actually made me cry, and I was close.
I said this on the group chat, but like when Punk came out and just like did all that shit, that was a moment where a few moments where I was just like, I fucking love AEW. Like I truly do.
I felt that.
Like, oh god.
Oh, like that's the thing. AEW have actually not only like challenged the main competition, but they've actually fired that passion into the wrestling fans' hearts again, and I don't think any other company has done it to the same effect AEW has.
Yeah, I mean, WWE was really like punching me to the ground, and no, not to other companies like Impact and JBW. I do enjoy them. It's just it wasn't giving me that fire I needed until AEW came.
Yeah, exactly. I was the same.
And then people are like going about and they're saying like AEW is responsible for what's happening with Ring of Honor, and I'm just like, right, yeah, I know like Ring of Honor paid all in that shit, but it doesn't mean it's like they barely had any association with AEW.
It was the Elite that freaking got ROH all that fucking off All In.
Yeah, I think Ring of Honor helped with All In, so it's like I think once the Elite went, that kind of took away the fans that like really gave
ROH died.
Like I've kind of stopped watching after the Elite. I kind of watch now and then, but like not really fully. Like when the Elite was there. Championship tournament.
Yeah.
Sup, Brendan?
Hey, I was listening to you guys, and then I just figured I'd join in because the conversation was getting exciting. So.
Yeah. Just marking about AEW.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
total marks.
I can attest because like in the beginning, it just I was obviously interested. Like when they announced it, I wasn't gonna pay for the pay-per-views, and at first they were only doing pay-per-views before on their show.
Dude, fuck that! Like I just use Watch Wrestling. It's so much easier.
Yeah, this was before I know because even now I am a fan of AEW. I just use the links. I'm like $50 is still too much for a wrestling pay-per-view to me.
Man, I don't even have a job. I'm at college right now. I don't even do a job, so it's like it's easier just to use free shit.
And it's like I do work, and I just can't fit that into the. I just don't spend the money on it when I know I can watch it for free.
100%.
But yeah. So like the first few shows weren't that interesting, or the first shows were interesting, and then I think by the end of 2019, I just fell out of AEW and I was watching NXT because that was more the product I was still enjoying more. And then
I think I said this before, like if you're expecting AEW to like smash it out of the park, like they did, but like smash it fully out of the park like they're doing now straight away.
Yes.
They're starting company. Come on, mate.
Yeah. And that was the thing, like I did understand they were starting, but for me, like, I just felt, and then especially and then I was starting to get interested, and like back into it, like a little around Revolution 2020, and then the pandemic hit, and I just lost all interest for wrestling in general.
Oh,
and
God.
then once I came back, I started to come back to it back in the fall of 2020, and then the Brody Lee tribute show is where I went back in AEW and have been watching since. And similar to what you guys were saying with WWE earlier, where I check in here and there, but it's mainly just AEW. Like I went to my first show in Philly and Philadelphia here in the States a few weeks ago, where Hangman came back, and that was just...
Sorry, I am so jealous if you went to an AEW show. I want to go so bad, but I'm in the UK.
I have a feeling they're definitely going to do one next year.
No, Tony,
it's going to happen.
It's happening. It just depends on when.
He's already said.
So I was able to go to the anniversary show, and that was like the best experience I've had at any wrestling show in my life.
Yeah.
God. And now I do plan on going to the one in New York. That's MJF's hometown in Long Island in December, and I am so ready for that.
Oh, God. Yeah.
It sounds like the UK show is going to be at Craven Cottage. It's great. I'm only...
That's not too far from where I live as well, which is like so sweet as well.
Oh, yeah. It's not far from me at all, but yeah, like an hour.
I would drop one day of my college just to go there because I really want to go.
Oh God, 100%. Like I'm studying a diploma in gaming at the moment, but like, hey, fuck it, one day's not gonna kill me.
Like, I mean, I'm studying performing arts at the moment. I love what I do, but like, at the same time, like, if I get one chance to go to an AEW show, and I might not do it for another while because we don't know when the next one will be.
Exactly. Like, we know that we're getting this one stadium show, but we don't know when they're gonna be back.
God.
I wonder if they'll do how WWE does, where they'll do like a Dynamite and Rampage. If they'll do a pay-per-view, if they'll do like a Dynamite and Rampage in the UK. Okay.
Usually for shows, I know they do Dynamite, Rampage, Dark, and Dark Elevation all in that one day.
Yeah. I mean, they do sometimes. Well, now Dark they film in Universal
Studios.
like they film like 30, 40 matches that can last them 4 weeks.
Man, like, I really should watch Dark more because, like, I've really been, like, a bit unscheduled with Dark. I've been more watching main shows.
I just started watching it in the summer of this year, and just to see, and now, like, they're bringing, like Bryan Danielson was just on Dark, and Adam Cole, I think, is going to be on this week. So, like, they're even using those stars on that show.
There was a debate earlier on. How do you think CM Punk's run's been in AEW so far?
I've enjoyed it. Like, I want to see him. I want to see him against like Omega. I want to see him against MJF. I
want. He wants to build up his like wins first before he goes to like big people like Omega.
Yeah, and I think the wins. So that's like him building up wins. But I think after he faces Eddie Kingston, that he needs to be in like a feud that's gonna go on. Like Darby Allin to me was not a feud; it was a match. It was a match that they just hyped up, and it happened. But like, if he is gonna be in a program with MJF, that needs to be a program. It needs to for weeks promo battles. He can face like Shawn Spears or Wardlow on Dynamite, leading up to like a match or something. Like, it has to be. Sorry,
I wouldn't also mind with the Kingston thing. Like, I know Kingston's a face, but like, just having a little mini feud, just lean to full gear, and like just have like just do like promo battles and like have these fierce promos at each other, and they just don't like do a match on Rampage or Dynamite.
Yeah. I mean, even with this, they got 2 weeks, and I think they can do just 2 weeks of in-ring promos with them, and it will sell everybody on the match. But with MJF, it has to be a program, I think, because that's who
maybe
I am
maybe we
looking
should do a
for.
Punk MJF feud after he's feuded with finishes his feud with Darby.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a match at Revolution, and honestly, MJF is my guy to beat CM Punk.
I mean, it could be a long time feud. Like, yeah, like, God, that could be a lot. I agree, though.
I think MJF would beat CM Punk, and then eventually down the line next year, he beats Hangman for the title, and then I would have possibly CM Punk or Danielson beating MJF, but I don't know if they're gonna how fans would react to one of those guys winning the title.
I feel
above
like
all
I
these
feel like MJF should be champion though because he gets so much heat like any other heel in any wrestling business history. No cheese at all, and like he's got legitimate heat. That's what counts.
The Dynamite after MJF wins the title is going to be the most must-watch television ever.
God, I think. Who do you think is taking the title of Sammy? Because I kind of thinking it's going to be Cole.
I would say Adam Cole or Ricky Starks.
I could see Malachi Black taking it.
That's another good one too.
Yeah, they have so much talent in the roster. Like, Jesus Christ. Endless potential, which I love.
Oh yeah, endless.
But yeah, it's a very exciting time.
Oh, fucking right it is.
And there's no sign of it dying either.
No, and people want to say ratings. It's all bullshit that I just don't give two shits about.
Tonight, like, it's cool to see Dynamite and Rampage. Well, Dynamite like get 1 million views. But at the end of the day, like, if you love this fucking sport, it doesn't fucking matter.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You watch it because you enjoy the product and you want to see it. And all these people want to talk about how many people watched it. You watched it, you enjoy it. That's how I see it.
That's why I say I despise the E-Drones. Like, I respect their opinions, but like, they go so far to send people death threats. So I'm just like, it's pro wrestling, people. Why can't you just grow up and enjoy the things you like?
I know, and
some of them are crazy.
The thing with that, it's just wrestling fans in general. Like, obviously, as much as I love AEW, there's some AEW fans who send death threats and all this other stuff like WWE as well, and it's just uncalled for. Really, it's wrestling.
Wrestling fans, yay! I'm glad that people like you guys like just don't do that kind of shit. It's all cool.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's like AEW and then the independent. I'm sure you hear here in the States, GCW. That's mainly where
I'm not really into deathmatch wrestling. Like, I don't hate it, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah, I was so I live in New Jersey here in the States, and they had so I went to the shows. They had 2 shows this month. That was the one where Jon Moxley was there against Nick Gage.
Damn.
And then I saw like my profile picture, Thunder Rosa just randomly showed up, and that was awesome.
To be fair, I thought it was like an AEW show.
Yeah, it was like cool to see. Like, there's a friend of mine who just got into wrestling as a whole. Like, somebody else that's like a mutual friend of, a friend of his. Not like I met him here and there. He was supposed to go to a show with someone. They dropped out, so he just took my friend who like had no interest really in wrestling, and then fell in love. It was a Grand Slam actually they went to.
Wait, the Grand Slam show?
Yeah, he just randomly his first wrestling show he ever went to randomly was Grand Slam, and that
was the wildest crowd I ever heard for like a Mega and Dang or something. That was fucking mad.
And that just turned him into a fan. So we went to the GCW shows, we went to AEW, and for the anniversary show, and then going with him in Long Island too. And it's just to see that just one show. He's just wanted to see what's happening ever since, and it's cool that they're able to do that. Because I feel if I showed him anything that's happened on WWE recently, I'd probably never talk to him again.
God, I could rant forever about WWE. The only thing I like they ruined NXT. I don't like NXT 2.0. I just think it's like they took 2 steps forward with NXT, the black and gold, and then with this new rebrand. Which I'm not saying I don't hate rebrands, but it feels like they take like 5 steps back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you guys like NXT 2.0?
No.
No.
Hell.
Good.
The only thing I won't even watch. I'll just watch the YouTube clip. The only positive thing I couldn't even try to fathom for it is Tony D'Angelo. That's just funny. That gimmick's just hilarious to me that they're putting that on television. And that's all I follow on NXT 2.0.
I just want to clear, like NXT 2.0 also feels like everything we went to NXT for to escape what the main roster was doing wrong, and now it's just become what the main roster comes
what
up.
it was like when the whole Wednesday Night War was going on, when it started. I was full on the NXT, and I rarely watched Raw and SmackDown. Only when NXT invaded and was part of Survivor Series, and it was like interesting, and it was cool. And then, once pandemic happened, kind of lost on NXT, and I still liked it, but then I was watching AEW once I got back to wrestling, and yeah, and then it's just that last takeover, I just wasn't interested in it because I felt like something was going to be off about NXT afterwards, and
yeah, that last takeover was the first takeover where I was just like,
meh.
Don't really care.
It was like meh. And you never, in how many years they've been doing takeover, have ever felt that.
Like, so legit, because I started watching NXT through NXT Takeover Dallas, and like I used to just like kind of just look to see what happens. But that's after Dallas, that's when I fully watched NXT.
And like I was watching it since the Sami Zayn Cesaro trilogy that they were doing for a bit there, when it was on Hulu or whatever it was on before the network. Like I was following it for such a long time.
Peacock fucking sucks. I'm glad. Sorry, I know like on an main topic, but Peacock sucks. I'm glad we still have the WWE Network in the UK.
It really is. Like I've even tried to watch movies on there, and I don't like how the app is slow in itself, and then when you live stream the shows, like for Money in the Bank, I remember the entire thing crashes during the Money in the Bank ladder match, which was the only reason I was watching the pay-per-view.
It's a bad idea to move. Like I dread the day when they're like, we're gonna bring the Peacock to the UK and fuck the network.
But hopefully next year we're gonna get an AEW streaming service.
Man, I would pay that even if I had like barely any money on me.
And I've seen like rumors, like because it's they're owned by like Warner Media, it could be HBO Max. They could partner with.
It's only in the US though.
Oh, it's not. I didn't even know it wasn't in Europe yet or anything.
Legit, it isn't. Like all this stuff that comes to HBO Max, like you have to wait until it's online or it's just like on a store or some shit. It's kind of annoying.
But I'm kind of skeptical if they did. I'm sure they would do some alternative for the UK or something. But
so far.
If they do HBO Max, I feel it's just gonna. It might be where Peacock, where it might just kind of be.
Is HBO Max actually good though?
HBO Max is like a good streaming service though, so, and I'm sure they'd figure out.
I mean, unless it's a Peacock situation, I think it'll be alright.
Yeah,
that's what I'm just hoping. Shit.
I'm just hoping it doesn't become a Peacock situation, but hopefully it's just on their own, and they might even have the Ring of Honor tape library on it.
It depends on who buys it. To be fair.
I know. I was listening to a few podcasts talk about it, and they talked about All In and stuff, and they brought out stuff that I didn't even realize if Tony Khan wouldn't even want it because of if you go back to All In, it was like the beginning of what we got for AEW now, but some of the stuff like Joey Ryan and Marty Scurll and like Tessa Blanchard, who nowadays are all like controversial, would they just edit the whole show or choose not to even have it on there at all?
All In was such like a monumental pay-per-view. I don't know how you wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. I like the Joey Ryan Test Blanchard stuff. Like I guess it just depends on how they deal with that situation.
Well, considering that
it's crazy what came out about them last year.
Considering that what's happening with Tessa Blanchard on that whole WoW thing, where they're basing a whole new promotion around her, who even knows at this point?
Is My Skull still wrestling?
He is.
Started, man.
He's wrestling in some like underground promotion in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, just curious. I think Joe Ryan still does stuff, doesn't he?
He was booked on a show with like tons of AEW stars recently. I think it was over the summer.
Was like, nah, fuck that.
And yeah, Tony Khan put this kibosh on that real quick.